Hey, what's up, guys? Today I wanted to go over the deck list that topped YCS Providence this past weekend. So without further ado, we get straight into it. So here we have Charley Futch's deck list, the winner of the event. He played Mitsugi Rival, no Fiend Smith. And yeah, looking at the list, it looks mostly standard. He's playing the one Murakamo and one Ritual because he's playing Kusanagi. Normally, if people play Kusanagi, they choose to play one of these cards. And when you see people playing 2 and 2, they don't play Kusanagi. Um, 2x, 2 ice, 2 sword. He's playing Star Rizio, which is interesting. Most people, I feel like, are not on Star Rizio, but it is another brick, but also does increase your ceiling. Uh, the Molcharmi ratio 3 Flawless, 1 Perulia, maybe it's like patterns or something. Astral Nib, Imperm as the other non-engine. What some people are doing right now is playing like 6 Molcharmies, but he chose to play Joel, and then when you play Joel, you don't really want to play Joel with like double Molchar 6 other Molcharmies in your main deck. So because he's playing Joel, it makes sense that he's not maxing out Perulia. Then like Imperdict or like an Ash the next best hand traps after like the blowout cards, like the Molcharmies and the Joel. Uh, Main decking the crossout and the call by, choosing to just if he wins die roll, he wants to be able to like have like a high win rate, which is kind of fair. He's playing 7th Tachyon, which some people cut, some people are playing. It seems like people are back and forth on that. But yeah, as for the extra deck, it looks mostly standard. He's playing Ouroboros, which is interesting. I haven't really seen people play that in this version of the deck. It's something you can do. I'm not sure, I feel like you can't really handle that consistently, but it's an option. Normally, instead, people are just going for like Dagaris to draw into non-engine as their other rank 4, or like the deck of Emerald. So, aggregator for X, obviously. He's playing the Shadow Dragon, so that basically with Shadow Dragon, if you don't play like a certain card like Night Sword Serpent, what it basically helps you get into your engine by searching 7th Tachyon. So that's pretty cool. And if you don't know, the name of the card is called Divine Golden Shadow Dragon, Dragoxion. If this card is special summon, you can add a Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. It's a rank 8. They basically just add 7th Tachyon, so that's why it's seeing play. And yeah, so the side deck, he's playing Lancia, Meows, more Perulia, Tactics, and Thrust if we're going first. Then triple Featherstorm. And you might be asking, how is he making Featherstorm live? Well, he's playing Castell, so 2 before he's make it live. And it's an interesting approach. I haven't really seen people try it. If you get hit by like a Molcharmi or like a Joel, if you can make a rank 4 and you have Thrust, you can go Featherstorm. I'm not sure I 100% love the triple Featherstorm. I feel like maybe triple Thrust would be better. Obviously, you can Ash Thrust, but you can't Ash Featherstorm. But I feel like sometimes in some game states, especially if you don't open Rizal cards, if you get like stopped by certain like cards like Joel or whatever, you might not be able to make rank 4s, and Featherstorm's going to be a brick. But you know, and then Purification, uh, it makes sense. I think most people are citing it. Then the 7th Tachyon target for Lancia. Anywho, we have the second place list. Ping playing Fiendsmith Rival, no Mitsugi. So yeah, for the Fiendsmith ratios, triple Engraver, double Lacma, 2 Lacma to have like more starters because the deck lost some starters in like before with like Ice next. Paradise, triple Tract, Lurie, triple Tract in Paradise. For the Rival cards, double X, double Ice, double Sword, a Node, a Bonfire, and you might notice he's not maining Cross, he's actually siding it, which is interesting. Normally, when people don't play Cross, they also like don't play. Some people don't play Node, but he's choosing to play the Node and then side the Cross. And I mean, for what it's worth, if he plays the deck more like a Fiendsmith deck, like a Rival deck, it's not as necessary. So I can understand the reasoning for it. And then also choosing the main deck Call by and Crossout just to stop the Molcharmi cards. Crossout's a weird card because game 1 it's actually going first. It's actually really good, but the problem because you're already maining the Molcharmis. But the problem is post side. It's not really a card you want to keep in going first. But maybe they're just taking it out, or maybe they're leaving it in. Triple Flawless, double Meows, double Perulia. I see a lot of people this weekend doing the two Meows, 2 Perulia ratio. This is kind of because they feel like Flawless is the best Molcharmi, but they also want to play more Molcharmis. But like not maxing out of them because you get when you don't want to draw too many Molcharmi monsters. There are diminishing returns past a certain point. Because if you're Molcharmis, like you have the good cards, they draw you cards. But if you're only drawing into more Molcharmis, at a certain point, like your draws are like bad. So yeah. Then Ash, Bell Nib, Valor Imperm. Extra deck, double Requiem. The deck has space for double Requiem now, whereas before it did not. Sequence, Agnum Day, Detonator. Well, you kind of could play double Requiem, but it wasn't really worth it now. But not before. But now it's like Joe. Detonator, one duo. He's not even main cross. You don't need more than one. Eclipse Winds, Aggregator, Exciton, Moon Desiree, SP, Wave King, Chaos Angel, and Necroquip. Very standard extra deck. The side, triple Droll, Solemn Strike, double DB Crow, two Bystials for going second in some matchups. Also, because he's playing Phoenix cards, Magma, it's like a one card engine, which is nice. Cowboy for time, Cross, and Lancia, obviously. Moving on, we have a top four pure Mitsugi deck. This is the only pure Mitsugi in top four. And yeah, he chose to play the Kaiju esque Mitsurugi, which I think is really cool. And honestly, I kind of wrote off, but it might be worth testing. He said he would even consider like bumping it up to three, I think, or he said something about three post size. So in the profile, so that might be something to mess around with. But he's also playing the triple Flawless, double Prulia, double Meows ratio, which is interesting. He's mostly engine. He's playing not that much non-engine. See, seven more Charmies, triple impulse. That's 10. Thrust tactics. That's 13. So not that much non-engine in the main deck compared to other decks. However, he said he felt like the deck could break boards mostly fine. So if you feel like that, you don't need to play that much non-engine. You just want to play the impactful ones. And I will say, I was playing a little bit more non-engine, and it was. I kind of wish I had more engine because the deck kind of bricks. So I can understand wanting to play the extravagance. Triple Aramasa, it's the one card starter. One Saji, I agree with this. You don't need more than one for the grind game. And the problem with Saji playing multiple is if you open it, it feels really bad because of how Habakiri wants to summon it. The mirror, obviously, because of pre prep. He's playing the Magatama, the quick play spell and trap pop, which is something. Uh, I'm not 100% sure if it's necessary, but it's not a terrible card per se. It's just my reasoning for not playing it is that it's another brick. And then double extra prosperity, more pots, and then the thrust. Who's going first can grab impulse and purification, and then going second you can grab like pre prep or mainly or prosperity, mainly pre prep and prosperity or the tactics. For the extra deck, Baguska 38, Elswarm Nightmare, Zeus Typhon, Dynamundo IPSP, Haggard. This is the Ragnar link, and then Echidna. For what it's worth, I think most of the time you're not making most of these extra cards except like IPSP, maybe like a Dynamundo here or there. Triple Answer, Triple Droll, Sun Adjuster, Lightning Storm. He is playing Gordian Slicer. If you don't know what Gordian Slicer does, Gordian Slicer is a spell that basically says at the start of your main phase, target any number of face cards in the field. For each targeted card, banish one card from your hand or 6 cards from your extra deck. So basically, you can banish from your extra deck and then remove cards. You said he was fighting in against Malice, so fair. And then Mistress of the Gnomes and Sanctum. He's maining thrust. So yeah. Also, something I did want to know about Charlie's list is that he's playing this card, Shadow Dragon, but he's not playing a card to summon off it, like number 38, which is interesting. I feel like at that point you just play number 38, but maybe he's like never going for this line except if he has to. So, anywho, top 8 Ryan Yu, Malice, mostly standard, I think, is looking like most of the lists we're looking. The only different stuff is that he's not maining GWC. He's actually siding it, which is crazy, and it's not something that many people have been, it's not something that people have been talking about doing, at least like you've seen people like publicly at least. And it's interesting the thought process that they don't really need it game one. They feel like they can go like more of a low to the ground approach and win. And they just want to cut like the bricks. I also mentioned like you not needing like a bigger board versus game one, whereas post side you might put like more breakers or other cards. Um, so yeah, the rest of the main deck's pretty standard. Choose to play with Bystials. Bystials are decent cards. They're not great extenders, but going second, they're really good to every matchup. Even into like Malice, they're not great non-engine to Malice, but like it's a really good engine to have because it gives you like dark and then multiple bodies, which is really nice. For the extra deck, they are not playing. He's not playing Allied Code Talker. Instead, he's just playing Bomber Dragon. Which, to be fair, I think Allied Code Talker being an Omni Negate is nice, but realistically, right now, most people aren't playing that many spell and traps you want to negate or cards you want to like Omni Negate. They're just playing like hand trap cards like Charmies and whatnot. So I feel like you don't actually need to Allied Omni Negate, so I can understand wanting to play a Bomber instead, to be honest. And then Bomber is going to be easier to make in some spots. And this is side deck, Lancia, Fanta, Meows, Troll, most people are playing some of these cards. Playing the AI beat you as like a going first card because I feel like it's good against certain like against the regular hand traps and against like Chaos Hunter and whatnot. I feel like AI beat you is a little bit awkward into the Molcharmi cards. To be honest, I feel like I'd rather just draw like a Solemn card for at least the mirror. But against the other hand traps, it's pretty good. I will say Solemns are very weak, not great into Malice or not Rival, sorry, but they're not terrible. Call by obviously in the GWC, putting it in both sides, going first. Then I wanted to show this. This is a guy who got top 16, I believe, Mitchell. He played Fiendsmith, Rise of Mitsugi, which is not something that many people have been playing, but it's an interesting combination. He's played 48 cards, which is a little bit crazy, but yeah. Most people I've seen play this also they cut the node and they cut the cross, so it's interesting that he played it. He's going a bit above 40 to try to mitigate drawing the bricks, and because he's playing more engine, but I'm not sure if you actually need node and cross in this version. One more combo, one ritual because he's on Kusanagi. Uh, Choosing to play the Bestials because I mean he's playing a Phoenix deck, so I understand why he wants to. For the extra deck, looking pretty standard. He is playing Duke of Demise, which is kind of cool. I guess you do have potentially more normal summons in this version, so it's something you could utilize, which is neat. For the side deck, he's playing Warning, which is a cool card. Warning, unlike Strike, can negate like Metal Shonas or like Mitsugi Prayer as a ritual, which is pretty neat. I mean, he's playing Tikaboo for the Malice matchup. It's not good versus like Ryziel, but versus Malice, it's really good. So I get why he wants to play it. And then Purification. And the next one, some of the rogue decks, we have Steven Santoli's top 8 Krishan list. He chose to play the horse version, which I think is cool. I don't think the horse version is bad. It could be a little bit bricky, kinda, but at the same time, you're adding like I think one of the deck's problems is like consistency because you can like you don't really have that many. Doesn't feel like there's that many like strong starters. You have a decent amount, but it feels like you want more. So I can understand why the horse engine. But obviously, like the horse engine has synergy with like Krishan because you can like pitch cards with graveyard effects, and then you can also go zombie vampire to get you the engine. Then he's also playing Super Poly. So he's playing Mud Dragon, Garua, and he's playing World Chalice, Guard Dragon, Almarduke, which is a fusion that requires 3 Link monsters. This is mainly for the Malice matchup. When they end on their full board, you can Super Poly them, which is pretty cool. Also, something to note is that if you play against like Malice, that's playing Bomber Dragon, they're not going to end on like 3 Link monsters at first anyway. So it actually plays around Super Poly a little bit, which is kind of neat. Yeah, he's choosing to play like a board breaker approach, saying regular hand traps are not enough, except for Ash, but Ash also stops Molcharmies, so even though it's not great going second, people still want to play it, which is fair. Then like Droplet, Super Poly, and Molcharmies, just high impacts. For the side decks, looking mostly standard. He's choosing to play Salesman, which I think is actually a pretty decent card right now. The problem with Salesman before going second into Ryziel was that there were better outs to just a Detonator. You had Ultimate Slayer and whatnot. But now the issue is that it's not just Detonator. Sometimes they might just end on Detonator. Sometimes they might just end on a sorry about that if you can hear that. Sometimes it might just end on like the mirror combo pop as well, and in that scenario, Ultimate Slayer is not doing anything. But Salesman is like multi-flex, like multi-purpose, has a very wide range. You can do a bunch of different things. So I think Salesman honestly is like a pretty decent card right now. Tactics, Called by, and the Black Goat Labs. Uh, and then yeah, this is a Sean Javery's top 16 too, I believe, live Twinfus deck. Uh, he's just playing live Twinfus. Looks mostly standard. Triple Kill Frost. Double Kill. I guess this is not really that standard. Most people play like 2. Yeah, most people play like 3 of this and 2 of this. I guess the reasoning is that like this plays into Fualos a bit hard. But this seems like much better going second though, so I feel like you still might want to play 3 of it. But you chose for that one Lila. You don't need more than one, and it is your worst starter. It's just one card combo, but it's your worst starter because it's most fragile. One sweet. Some people play 2. You don't need more than 2, more than one. The card's terrible to open. Even if you open it, your deck can still function. Uh, Shoots and play Semi Stitch. I mean, obviously, but not playing the other Spawn Trap Searcher. Just playing more of other cards instead. Playing the Paradise. Yeah, for the next deck, he's playing Fiendsmith. Oh, he's playing this fusion. Rex Tremmed. Unaffected by card effects. Have Fiendsmith cards. This card is fusion summon. You can discard a card. Send a Light Fiend. Monster bring decoration to the graveyard. This card is sent to the graveyard. You can target one Fiendsmith card in the graveyard. Add it to your hand. It's interesting. I'm not sure if it's necessary. But I haven't looked into the lines of it exactly. The rest is actually a quick standard though. With like about he's not playing the Shavara stuff, which is chill. The side deck he's choosing to play Mistaken Arrest, which is not good versus not great versus Malice, but it's really good versus name that one deck. Raiju Mitsugi. So I can get that. And then he's playing a card that's good versus Malice, but not good versus Raiju Mitsugi and the Imperial Iron Wall. Because he has so much space for going second, which is fair. And this card is, I mean, yeah, haven't seen people play this in a while, but it does stop the deck. And then moving on to the last list I want to talk about is a Regenesis Cashier deck. Yeah, this is like it's got top 32. It's chill. He's playing just like a lot of non-engine, and then like just triple cat, triple unicorn, triple fender, triple imperm, or sorry, triple planet with one birth, one theosis, and then for the Regenesis card, triple archfiend, triple of each of the spells, and then one of each of the one ofs and the trap. Um, I'm not entirely sure if you need all these Regenesis cards. Like I feel like this card, Regenesis Lord, is not 100% necessary. Same thing with the trap, but you know there are options. Makes the deck seem like it might be a bit too bricky sometimes. Um, the side deck, yeah, he's also choosing to play there can be only one. It's really good versus Malice, understandable. Then also Dragon's Mind, which is honestly like a better judgment often in this deck because you can make it live so easily. So I think this is one of the few decks that actually can play Dragon's Mind and have it be good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All the lists I want to go over. Providence was interesting. Rise of Mitsurugi won, but that was one of the two decks I was expected to win, so you know, fair. But anywho, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.